Have you ever loved someone so deeply that it broke you? Ever held on so tightly, you forgot who you were without them? We've all been there, trapped in emotional chains we can't see, but feel every day, and the harder we hold on, the more we lose ourselves. But here's the truth, letting go isn't weakness, it's power, and no one understood this better than the Stoics. In this journey, we'll walk with Marcus Aurelius, with Seneca, not just through philosophy, but through the fire of detachment, through the pain of release, and into the clarity that follows. You'll learn the ancient path to reclaim your focus, your peace, yourself. So if you're tired of being ruled by what you can't control, this is your moment. Let's begin. Detachment isn't about being cold. It's about being free. When we cling too tightly to people, outcomes, identities, we hand over the remote to our emotions. Every mood, every thought, every decision, dictated by someone else's presence or absence. Imagine your emotions are a kite. Each string represents a person, a memory, a fear, and the more you hold on, the more you're pulled by storms not your own. The Stoics teach us, you don't control the wind, but you decide which strings to hold. It's not indifference, it's choosing your peace over their chaos, your purpose over their pull. So ask yourself, who holds too much space in your mind? Why are you attached? Loneliness? Validation? Or fear? Awareness is the first knife that cuts the chain. Then comes action. Anchor your days in what lights you up, not in who drags you down. Do something meaningful. Create, build, serve, reconnect with yourself. Remember, you can't pour into others from an empty cup. True detachment is not a turning away. It's a return to your center. Next, understand this. Attachment is not love, it's ego. When a child loves, they love freely. No demands, no fear. But as we grow, ego corrupts that purity. We want to possess, to hold, to never lose. But what if love wasn't about holding on, but letting be? When we detach, we don't love less, we love wiser. We no longer say, I need you to feel whole. We say, I am whole, and I choose to love you freely. Detachment isn't apathy, it's clarity. It's trusting in the abundance of life. If they leave, you won't collapse. If you fail, you won't shatter. Because your worth was never in them. Let go of what you think you need. Let go of what the ego says is yours. And watch what flows in when your hands are open. Because detachment isn't about walking away from everything. It's about finally walking towards yourself. Let go, not because you're cold, but because you're finally free. Detach not from love, but from illusion. Too often, we cling, not to people, but to the idea of who we think they are. That's the ego whispering, you're not enough. It tells us someone else holds the key to our worth, that their presence validates our existence. But that's a lie we've repeated for too long. The truth is, no one holds a special ticket. Strip away the stories, the comparisons, the filters, and we're all equally human, equally flawed, equally sacred. You are not lacking. You're not missing a piece that someone else completes. You are whole, and from that wholeness, you can choose to love, not out of fear, but out of freedom. Confidence isn't about superiority, it's the quiet knowing, I am enough. When you believe that deeply, you stop clinging, you stop idolizing. You stop handing your peace over to someone else's presence or absence. And that's where detachment begins. Not with bitterness, not with closing your heart, but with the gentle courage to open it, without needing anything in return. Because love born from abundance is never desperate. When the ego says, you'll never find another like them, smile, then walk on, because it was never about replacing someone. It was about remembering yourself. Letting go is not losing. It's releasing the illusion that someone else held your happiness in their hands. Let's talk practice. Letting go of a person can feel like cutting a rope that once held you steady. But what if that same rope is now choking you? What if, in holding on, you're shrinking? Detachment is not a fall, it's a release. A freeing of your hands to reach for something better, something real. We fear missing out, but what are we really missing? Curated snapshots? Perfect moments filtered through someone else's lens? That's not reality. That's performance. And you're not here to be an audience. You're here to live, fully. Presently, truthfully. Detachment says, I don't need to chase what isn't mine. I don't need to match anyone's highlight reel. I only need to water my own garden, even if no one sees it bloom. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to be seen to matter. And you don't need to hold on, to belong. So focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, your choices, your growth. That's where peace lives. That's where you reclaim your story. And that's the beginning of happiness, not the fragile kind that depends on others, but the kind that endures. Because it starts with you. There comes a moment when you realize, letting go isn't about rejection. It's about returning to yourself. To detach from someone isn't an act of cruelty. It's an act of clarity. You're not turning away from love. You're walking towards a deeper one, the one with yourself. You are not a fragment, waiting to be completed. You are not a question, waiting for someone else's answer. You are the whole story. And your worth? It does not rise with someone's affection. It does not fall with their silence. Your value is anchored in how you live, how you think, and how you love, especially when no one is watching. Imagine this. A bird who's spent its life believing it needs permission to fly. But one day, it opens its wings. And the sky? It's been waiting all along. That's what detachment is. Not turning cold, but realizing the sky was never locked. When you stop measuring your worth through someone else's presence, you begin to see the vastness of your own soul. You realize, peace doesn't come from being held. It comes from standing tall. So instead of chasing approval, tend to your own garden. Nourish your roots. Water your mind. Build a life so rich and fulfilling, that it doesn't matter who comes to admire it. Because it blooms either way. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. This is the essence of Stoicism. Focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your effort, your path. That doesn't mean shutting your heart. It means placing its safety in your own hands. You are not a puzzle missing a piece. You are a masterpiece, already whole, and still evolving. Let go of needing someone to validate your worth. You were enough long before they arrived. And you'll be enough long after. If this message found its way into a quiet corner of your mind, let it sit. Let it reshape something. And if it helped, share it with someone who needs it. Together, we rise, not through attachment, but through understanding. And if you're ready to go deeper, there's more waiting for you. An exclusive gift. 3 Stoic rules for a fulfilling life. Check the link in the description and start walking toward your freedom. Until then, choose peace. Choose clarity. Choose you.